Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of me trying to make an album within 8 months. My name is Iman and pretty much what I'm trying to do is make a whole entire album with absolutely no experience, no skills, no knowledge, all within the span of 8 months. What? I highly recommend you check out episode 1. I'll link it up the top here as it will kind of give you an insight on, how I started, how I plan to go about this experiment. But let's get into it. A lot has happened since the first episode, like a lot. Basically, I got the second draft of 17 from my producer, to which my mind was completely blown, and it was sent into the stratosphere because of how amazing it sounded. After loads of back and forth, my producer and I really started to refine the soundscape of 17. Like, first listen, it's fucking amazing. But I'm hoping that at the start, I love the vulnerability just with the guitar playing. I wanted to add a feeling of anxiety. But as this diffuse heartbeat, that would be cool because then it's becoming this this line going up in terms of climax. I'll show you. I was thinking this weird breathy anxiety attack. It could be in the background. The pre-chorus, we're working to amplify even more, whether we add that little synth that you add at the end. This piano here would be, it's not existent here, but then comes in now. Then the piano. But it's not existent in that first half because we're still establishing. And then disperse. And this is cool. I love it. Chorus wise, I want the first half of the chorus to be establishing that word. We have dispersed. We've got this big thing that we've created. There's a disparity in terms of the lyricism because the first half is kind of reflecting on past time, on memories. The second half is got a lot of angst, it's got a lot of longing. So I want there to be this, and then now I'm in misery, because I want that part of the chorus to be heard. This is the summation of all that this person has come to, so I want that to be explored. And then maybe we could just go straight to normal guitar for the first half of the second verse. This part here, you've got a beat here, I like it, but maybe add it to the second half of the second verse. But for the first half of the second verse, we go back to this. We're laughing on the street lights, and you're making it rush to get something in that dark. We're adding urgency. And then we establish more. After hearing the second draft of 17, I knew that I had found my husband/wife of a producer and asked if she wanted to formally collaborate with me on this album, to which she quoted me the overall price. You can do the math. we're looking at around 10 songs so far. However, it started to become apparent that we had one issue. I needed to record my vocals for it. Now in episode 1, I originally said that I was going to a recording studio and work with a recording engineer on this track. However, due to doing multiple tracks, my producer advised me that this might not be the best route to take, and instead investing in my own setup will most likely be the best thing for me. Considering how much this project has made me feel alive in more ways than one, I can't stop doing this. So without any time wasting, I got some essentials for a basic setup studio. Everything will be listed in my description below so that you can have a go for yourself. Ultimately, where does this leave us? Well, basically I spent the last few days familiarizing myself with GarageBand, getting prepared to record my vocals. Strangely, throughout this process, I've grown extremely critical with how I'm sounding and weirdly second guessing if I'm reaching too far, thinking I can actually do this. This was the first time in my life where I started to identify that I've actually got a hater that's buried deep within me. I had to leave recording for another day due to actually hating myself momentarily. I'm not even fucking recording, what the fuck? I know nothing! Flash forward to the 31st of Jan, I eventually mustered the courage to lock my demons that tell me I'm not good enough away in my closet and proceeded with sending through my first ever vocal stem over to my producer. I figured I'm gonna do vocal warm-ups. I've never done vocal warm-ups, I just sing just to sing, but just to maybe put the odds in my favor. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms. Mommy made me mash my M&Ms.
One eternity later.
I'm playing memories of running around on your hometown street, breaking every rule and making enemies. Too young to care and we're trading arts. The altar's on your stairs. Now I'm in misery. Don't act like you don't even look for me in any crowd that you see, 'cause now we're set in stone, we're dead, we're gone. You'd always move on, but my prime was always 17. For some unknown reason, over the last week and a half, I just can't get the color purple out of my head. I have no idea why, but purple's just in there. And this purple to me feels like a sunset leading into nighttime type of purple. I wouldn't say it's quite lilac, it's deep, but it's like got pink hues to it. It feels like a sunset that is it's a purpley sunset essentially. And the way that I feel that this album is going, just basically off the soundscape, off that first song, it's giving very synth pop. I think it has a lot of darker elements such as, you know, Melodrama by Lorde. It's got that deepness to it that you would expect in that purple. And yeah, so I think the vision's coming together. It is bellowing out, it's laying itself out in front of me and I can kind of see it. Regarding album covers and stuff, I don't know if I want to go for a more like editorial look, if I want it to be somewhat really professional, or if I want it to be this like 1989-esque capturing you like in the moment type of. I think so far we got synth pop. It feels a little bit futuristic as well, but definitely dreamy and definitely expansive and atmospheric in its sound. I think this is what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be an extension of my words, and it definitely is that. Now, one thing I've noticed about this whole committing to an album thing is I'm becoming severely critical over different aspects of how I do stuff. And then second part, I'm finding that I'm listening to my voice over my headphones and I'm questioning whether I can sing or not. It fucking sucked! And still there's stuff, I don't like it, I don't like it. What? How do I forget my own song? See, I just don't like any of it. I hate all of it. How can you do something when you hate it all? Huh? I never thought that this would be an issue for me. My songwriting is not good enough. I feel like I need to do justice to these stories, so I need to sit down and make sure it's right. I'm having writer's block, but I don't think I'm having writer's block because I can't write, but quite the opposite. I'm writing too much to the point I don't know what I want to say. I swear I had him before all the crooks and his demons convinced him that love shouldn't be tragic. So what's the point in love if it don't shatter your senses? Fuck the world and its rules, he was mine from the beginning. Up beneath the most sinking. My baby, he sits on the thrones of his lies. I could dismantle it all. I could dismantle it all. If you could look in my goddamn eyes. Your girl's having somewhat of a crisis in the midst of making an album, which is counterintuitive but also indicative to some extent of the noises that kind of go on in people's heads when it comes to doing something that one they've always wanted to do, except their body is essentially rejecting it and telling them that no, you should just gap. I have just realized I need education. My producer sent some stuff that she'd recommend in terms of how we're going to cultivate the atmosphere of this track. I don't know what she's talking about. First thing she's mentioning is octave. So an octave is when the same note is played or sung at a higher or lower pitch. You don't know anything at 17. You don't know anything at 17. Then we have harmony. Harmony is when two or more notes are sung together to create chords or a richer sound. But my prime was always 17. But my prime was always 17. Ad-libs. So ad-libs are like, I think everyone knows ad-libs, but it's pretty much little things added into songs like yeah, woo, ah, all that stuff. Don't pretend, don't pretend. And then the last thing she mentioned was vocal doubles, and that is double tracking. So that means that you're recording the same vocal line twice, but there might be slight differences in pitch, timing, and tone, which will create a natural chorus-like effect. No, didn't it haunt you? There I had you. But my producer, the lovely soul she is, she's also going to be willing to help, so she'll record herself. So worst case, I can listen to it and I can just perform it as I hear it. Okay, so it's currently the 7th of Feb today, and pretty much we are just waiting on my producer to complete the track, finish the rest of it, in which I will then sing my vocals over it, and then 17 will be done. It's been, short of a month? I think I started this project about the 17th of Jan, so that was really quick and it sounds amazing so far. But now that we're nearing the end of episode 2, I wanted to give my next song to you. 1 is Hometown, 2 is Old Broken Record, and 3 is The Garden. Now, 2 of these songs I have posted either here on YouTube or on Instagram. One of these songs, no one has seen the light of day. So I'm going to create a poll, and it's up to you to choose what song I'm going to be working on next. So I'm leaving it all in your hands. You get to choose the next one, and then hopefully by episode 3, we're going to get started on the next track. Other than that, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.